Welcome back to Lou's CIS Labs. Today we're going to be talking about Hyper-V and how to install that on a Windows 10 machine. So what is Hypervisor? So according to Microsoft's documentations here, it's a Windows Server client that they call a hypervisor, which enables you to run 32, 64-bit operating systems on the same machine. So there's a couple terms that I'd like to go over. So there is the host and guest. So host is the machine that's actually the physical bare metal that you installed on a physical machine that you installed this Hyper-V on, and then all the machines inside it or the clients are called the guest OS because they're sharing. So it's sharing resources and stuff. And here's the practical applications essentially for people is they set this up for is to build a test lab, an environment to be able to test networking skills, because that's one thing in networking, you got to have more than one machine to network something. So this will be all posted, links to this information here, and a couple things to note before going on with this is the hardware requirements. One, you have to be running the 64-bit version of Windows 10 or 8, professional or enterprise, or education is the three that you need. The other big thing is you want to have at least 4 gigs of RAM. Otherwise it's going to be kind of hard to run multiple machines on something less. Your BIOS you may have to enable a feature on there. There's a link in this document that you can go to see that. So here's the quick steps. Enabling it depends, and this may look slightly different depending on the version of Windows 10 you're on. We're going to go through the steps. Also, I have a couple links. So one of the things that you want to do installing it, first let's look up the processor. So type in the processor you have. This is an example. I typed in the processor I have. You'll see there's an Intel site called the arc.intel. So when you Google that, you want to look for that particular link. And so that's going to give you a history of the processor, or essentially the details of the processor. So here you can see this one's an 8th gen. It's a mobile type device. It's got a quad core, hyper-threading, but we want to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Also how much memory it can support, which is good. But we want to go down a little bit more into the advanced technologies. That's where we really want to check, because you're going to need to see if your processor supports hyper-threading and virtualization. So like you have VTX, you have your VTD, so here you can see yes, yes. So this particular computer or this processor makes a great candidate for us to set up virtualization. So here's a couple guides. Here's the Microsoft guide. I'll have a link showing you this. Again, they're saying here is minimum 10 Pro education 64-bit processor to support, you need the VTC on the Intel processor. Again, as a quick way of going through it, here you can do it two ways. You can do it through PowerShell, or you can go through add and remove programs, which we'll go through in a moment. And then here's also another nice guide that'll be in the links below. So to get started, we're going to right click on our little Microsoft menu, go to our applications, and now this may vary on what build of Windows 10 you're on. So over here we're going to go to programs and features. Here this is going to take us more like the traditional add and remove programs, and then here you go to turn on Windows features or turn them off, and then we're going to scroll down until we see the Windows hypervisor. And check to make sure. Yeah. And Hyper-V. So we want the management and the platform tools. Here you can see, here's the different versions. And you can see they're all checked. So now we're going to hit OK. And now it's going to go and apply that. And then we essentially just got to hit restart. And then when the machine comes back up, hopefully this will work. All right. Okay, the machine had rebooted. So let's see if this works. So we click on start. And if we type in, here we go. We have the hypervisor manager. Awesome. So from here we should be able to right click, create new, and then start going through our process. So that's how we install Hyper-V. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.